Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are live from my living room. Not the usual place that I hold basic training, but when I'm not up at 7, this is most likely where you'll see me here in my living room. So, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what we're gonna talk about today, which is exciting, right? Diving into the unknown. There's a lot going on, right? There's a lot going on. And there is always a lot going on, but I think that there's also a lot going on our phones. Me personally, in my personal life, there's a lot going on that I will admit I'm not doing too well with giving space for. There's a lot going on in my personal life, and I'm not doing too well at giving it space, letting myself grieve, as well as finding things to be joyous about. I have not been doing too well in that department, but nonetheless, we are here. Would like to know how you're feeling these days. How are you feeling these days with all the things going on? Are you allowing yourself to feel? I have not. I've been going to work, and which was good and bad, right? I have been distracting myself with work. And ironically, though, my place of work this week was very stressful. I was in a very stressful environment. So, coming out of distractions, where the distractor was also a destructive environment, I think I just added more work for myself, more spiritual work, right? More things to unpack. Because what happens when we don't unpack? When we don't unpack, we just end up throwing the bag at somebody, probably somebody that doesn't deserve it, right? I'm grateful that I have not done that this week. And actually, I almost did this weekend. And I had to talk to myself through it, right? I had to separate where my feelings are coming from and where I was going to direct it towards. All right, so all of that aside, I'm asking you to create still. The world is burning, but the good thing is that the world has been burning even before we were born. So nothing new here, really. Nothing new here, really. It's just new to our awareness. You must keep that in mind. Nothing new is happening. It is just new to our awareness. Okay? Which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Which is a beautiful thing. Because we can move and create accordingly. We can create accordingly. It's like somebody cut the lights on and you got to see that there's blood all over the walls. I'd rather that than walk around a dark room and not know there's blood on the walls. Me personally, I would rather see the blood on the walls. All right. But there's been blood on the walls since before we were born. Listen, you know where you came from. And if you don't, I'm going to put you on. All right. You were taken. You. And I know that it might sound weird that I'm saying you because you, like who you are physically, this person, your name was not taken. But there's something funny about memory and blood, all right? We carry in our genes, we carry memory. We came of somebody who came of somebody who came of somebody, and through all of that, there is memory. There's traumatic memory. There's also memory of how to survive, right? How to get through those times. And so through that memory, through your bloodstream, through those people that came before you, there's memory. You were taken long, long, long time ago from a place that was your home, from a place that was your birthplace. You were taken, commodified, and now, centuries later, you are living in what seems like the repercussions of other people's actions. Now you are living in the aftermath of those who came before you being taken out of their homes, commodified, being turned into product. Okay? Your whole native language was removed. You were told who to be. You were told who to be. This is why when I see people, and I used to be like this too. When I see people put themselves in a box, like, oh, I can't do that. Why not? You were told who to be. We are lucky that we're living in these times. Could you imagine being born on a plantation? I can't. I can't. And although this may feel like it, it is not, right? There's another version, I guess, of a plantation, but it is not. We have it easy, okay? So we just got to get through it. We just got to get through it. How do you get through it? Honestly, I have been screaming this for a while. The power is in our creativity. The power is in us saying, all right, enough, enough. I'm not playing this game with y'all. I'm not playing this game with y'all. I'm going to make my life the way that I'm going to make my life. Honestly, if enough of us do this at once, we will win. Nothing can hold us back when we are together. You understand that? You by yourself, it might feel powerless. But imagine everybody that you know, everybody that you kiki with, all at the same time saying enough is enough. We're going to create. We're going to live our lives. Enough suffering. Enough with the death. Enough with the losses. We're not doing. We're not playing your game. It's not our game. We didn't choose this game, right? If we think about memory, and we think about those who came before us, those who came before us were barters, creators, spiritual people, transformed to be like those who stole us, transformed to be like those who have stolen our families. I truly believe that you who are watching this, you who are listening to this, your nature is not violent. Your nature is not of hate. Somebody told you to be like that because that's the way to play the game. What they didn't tell you, and me, is that the game is made up. And we're being told to play like them. Sometimes I think, like, what type of person do you have to be to be so proud, to be so proud of what you've done after killing, after abuse? What type of person do you have to be so proud? And you know what type of person that is? A person that is scared, a person that knows they are inadequate. That is somebody that is proud to hurt. And they've taught us to be just like them. Every time we argue with each other, every time we don't want to see the other side, every time we don't care who gets hurt, it's because we know we're inadequate, just like them. See, my family used to be like, oh, white people don't live like this. I'm gonna break and explain that. My family deals with hoarding, deals with lack of compassion for each other in our family. We deal with hateful speech and language towards each other. We deal with lack of cleanliness. We deal with, like I said, hoarding kind of blends in with not caring for our environment. And a lot of my family members would say, while I was growing up, they'll say it out loud, we living like animals. White people don't live like this. We living like animals. White people don't live like this. I didn't grow up around white people. I did not. I grew up in New York. I grew up in the hood. It's very much segregated. Ain't no white people, and the white people that are there are poor. If there's white people in your projects, they're just like you. They don't know where they came from either. I didn't grow up with white people until I went to college. I went to a PWI. And I saw in college, for the first time, it felt so sweet to see this. I saw in college, no, white people actually live just like this. They taught us how to live like this, in fact. And I didn't convince my family of this. I actually kept this truth to myself. I kept it. I wanted to tell them, I wanted to run back home and tell them, yo, white people actually live worse than this. It's just that they could pay somebody to clean up for their mess. And we don't. Just like politics. They screw shit up and they could pay somebody to pick up after themselves. But we don't. We shoot somebody down the street, it's life for you. People sitting in chairs in suits, making decisions to kill millions, and they get a raise. And they get a raise. We're not playing the same game. We're not playing the same game. Somebody has to be held accountable. But will they ever, right? And also, I'm not too worried about holding them accountable. Not right now, not at this very moment. it's just about to be 20 minutes. And I feel like I've been rambling. It may have made sense to you. It may be the message that you need. It may not. You might be like, B, you lost me with this one. That's all right. That's the power of creativity. It's okay. Not everything that you make has to be consumed. Not everything that you make has to be a product. And sometimes they're just your emotions. Sometimes they're just your feelings. Sometimes they're just your truths. And that's that. I truly, truly see a world where we can all just create, or we can do what we came here to do. I think that this is the time, right? We all came back at this time, this year. I think this is the time to truly establish ourselves as creators and not as cattle. All right, y'all. Till next week. Please let me know how you feel. Let me know how you felt about this episode. Let me know how you felt about the other ones. If you haven't, and until next week. Peace.